Welcome to the weekly webcast from the team at Motoring Middle East in association with Talkabout Media. Here's our roundup of the latest from the world of motoring.
Now we begin with great news for all those people who rushed out and brought the hot new Toyota 86. Your fantastically fun car is already obsolete. It's a move that absolutely everybody saw coming. Automotive News has reported that Subaru, who works with Toyota on this project, remember, is building a turbocharged version of the flat 4-cylinder engine. It's got a new twin-scroll turbo, a more refined direct injection system, and power is going to be good for about 280 brake horsepower. And more importantly, torque climbs to a fairly meaty 250 pound-feet. I don't know what's going to be called, 86 Turbo, BRZ, STI, but who knows? But one thing's for sure, there's going to be a lot of annoyed folks out there.
One of which is you, I'm guessing.
Well, I did buy the first one.
I'll tell you what though, 280 horsepower, I mean, you drive it around every day. Do you think it needs that much power?
I think it really doesn't, but you know, for people in Dubai, there's always been somebody who wants more horsepower.
I tend to agree, I don't think it needs more power. I think it's a beautifully balanced car. What does like to have power is a Lamborghini Giado. You can never have too much power on one of those. And it's a great car, but it is getting on a bit. It's
about 10 years old now, isn't it?
Yes, it's been around 10 years, quite right. But you know, it's still one of my favorite cars. It's absolutely fantastic. But there are newer competition out there, the Ferrari 458 Italia and the McLaren MP4 12C. Yes, you do have to say the whole name. So it's time for a replacement for the venerable Giado. There is one coming. Very little is known about it, but I can tell you that it will be named after a bull.
Aren't all Lamborghinis named after bulls?
Yes, that's why I said that.
Oh, fair enough.
It's fairly obvious. We also know that it will probably not be offered with a manual gearbox.
Which is an absolute shame, isn't it?
It is an absolute shame, so no open-gated cluck-cluck gearbox for that thing. But it also won't be offered as a hybrid, and that's a positive thing, I think.
I can't argue.
It will be absolutely stunning, and it will be dripping in expensive carbon fiber, and I'll probably want to lick it.
I like the expensive carbon fiber part, not the part about you licking it. When will we get to see this lickable car?
I think it'll probably come out around the middle of next year, but before that, at Detroit, there will be a new Corvette. There's no pictures have been released of this car, but a new logo has. And of course it's going to get a V8 engine, but there's some speculation as to whether it will be a front-engine car or a mid-engine car. Now, if it's a mid-engine car, it will go up against cars like the Giado. Wouldn't that be something?
I've got my bets, it'll almost certainly be front-engined.
Now, if you attended the recent GITEX Technology Week in Dubai, you will have seen the Ford stand where they were introducing the latest in driver safety. Now, the stuff they were showing involves built-in sensors around the car which monitor the road and the traffic, how you're driving, and even things like heart rate and respiration to just figure out how stressed you are, which is probably quite a lot if you're trying to find parking at the trade center for GITEX. Based on this information, it then decides how much further information you should be getting. And I don't just mean on the instrument panel, I mean this thing can actually block your phone calls and your messages from getting to you. But
if you're that stressed, should you really be on the road operating a motor car?
Well, exactly. I think I quite agree with you. I mean, I would say don't wait for the car to judge whether or not you're too stressed to drive. If you are tired, if you're stressed, if you're having a bad day or an argument with your wife, it happens, or the weather is foggy or whatever, please be sensible. Don't drive. Pull over, relax, take a metro, take a taxi, take whatever you need to do. But it's better to arrive late than not at all.
Now you seem to have dressed up a bit today. Clearly you're heading out somewhere.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I am looking a bit all right today.
I'm
going out this evening. All right, I was going to take the compliment and run with it, but it shot me down. Anyway, but yes, you're right. I am going out this evening. I'm going to a Fisker event where I'll get to meet the man behind Fisker
Hold the
cars.
presses. Is he called Fisker?
You know what? He actually is.
I knew it. Nothing gets past me.
Oh, you are smart. But then you're probably aware of a guy named Henrik Fisker. And you'll be aware of him because he's the guy that designed such beautiful cars as the Aston Martin DB9 and BMW's prettiest car, the Z8. Now, as striking as these cars are to look at, he has designed another car which is actually called the Fisker Karma. And
Not to be confused with the Fisker Karama.
Well, there probably will be knockoff versions of it coming out soon at some point in the future, I imagine. Yeah. But the original Fisker Karma is a hybrid electric luxury car. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'll find out a bit more tonight, and I'm hoping to drive it tomorrow, so I'll be able to tell you guys a bit more about it next week.
That presumes it's an electric car of some sort.
It is an electric car, but I think when it runs out of batteries, they've got an engine in there that you can run it instead. And so, yeah, don't have to plug it in.
It'll never catch on.
Now you can read more about any of these stories on motoringme.com, and you can also follow us and get all the latest news from the world of motoring on our Facebook page, which is
facebook.com/motoringmiddle east.
Go there now to let us have your feedback on this video and anything else we do at Motoring Middle East.